What is up, Phenom fam? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today, this video isn't really anything special. I want to say, because I'll explain it as we race. But basically, the reason I haven't been uploading for the past, like, oh god, I think it's been like a week or maybe longer even, is the last video I uploaded on my channel was the first episode of our Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 Let's Play. And basically what happened was, I mentioned it in that video, but if you guys didn't see it, or if you're new to the channel, basically what I said in the video was that I had to record that same, like, gameplay footage. Like, I had to keep going back and redoing missions to re-record, like, at least 2 or 3, maybe even 4 different times. And basically what was happening was, oh boy, I done fucked up. But basically what was happening was, my capture card, for whatever reason, decided that it was gonna wreck on me, and any video that's like longer than 15 minutes, like any gameplay longer than about 15 minutes, just starts like cutting out and getting all pixelated, and like the audio will cut out, and like the gameplay will skip, and or it'll have like a really shaky, like unsteady, like really low frame rate, or just like something along that nature. And at first I thought it was my capture card. I thought I broke my capture card, or I thought it was broken or whatever. So I emailed Elgato, and they basically told me to like look through the settings and of like the in-game software to make sure that everything is all fine and dandy there. And they told me to set the software decoder, the decoder for videos to the software built-in decoder. And when I did that, that actually made it worse. And I think my problem, I think the reason it's happening is because recording videos is putting too much like load on my computer's processor. Because not only do I have, not only does my computer not have an amazing processor, but it's also the fact that it's a laptop, so the both chips are integrated, so that probably doesn't help its performance at all. And by probably I mean definitely. And at the same time, Elgato emailing me back telling me to turn the software decoder to, or not the video decoder to the software built in. I read the description of it, and then I did it at first, and I tried recording test footage, and I just found out today that actually puts more load on the CPU, and I think that's honestly what's happening, is that the reason that it's doing that is because there already is so much load on the CPU that it's just the video's crapping out. So I don't understand what doing that would have helped me. I think maybe I didn't explain it well enough. I probably, in my email, if I could have included an attachment of my video doing it, I would have. Because I think that because this decoder, putting it to the software built in, gives you higher quality on videos, in terms of just textures and things like that, and just overall blurriness and whatnot. And I think they told me to change that because I didn't very much describe my problem very well when I think about it. Because all I kind of said was it was pretty vague, just because I was pissed off and I wanted to get my email in as fast as possible, because I don't know when my warranty's up. I only have a 90-day warranty with the capture card, and I don't know when it's up. I don't know how long it's been since I bought the capture card. I just know it's been less than 90 days. But I don't know how close to 90 days I am. So I just wanted to get my email in really quick, just in case if I did have to send it in, like I would get the email back in a timely manner. And they told me to do a bunch of different stuff, try different USB ports, like I said, turning the software decoder, or I mean turning the video decoder to the software default. I don't remember what else they said to do. I think they might have recommended trying to switch the resolution, like lowering the resolution of like recording. So I did that. This is being recorded in 720p, 60 frames per second. If this works out, then we might have to record videos like this for a while until I can save up the money for a desktop, which I want to buy the parts for a desktop and build a desktop pretty soon. I need to get a job. That's what I need to do. I've been applying like everywhere, and it's just it's no good. It's not looking good for me. But so I'm going to upload this video regardless of what it, if it craps out or not, because I want you guys to at least understand what I'm dealing with, so that it doesn't look like I'm just making excuses to be lazy and not make videos. So well, I'm not. I was gonna say hopefully this video craps out so that you guys believe me, but actually I really don't hope this video craps out, because that means I really would have to send my capture card in, because I've done everything to try to take like the load off the CPU to try and get this to record fine, and I've recorded I've recorded fine before for the few months I had the capture card. I mean, when I first put it, like, plugged it in and was trying to use it, I had the same problem, and it was because I was putting too much load on the CPU, because I was trying to record in 1080p at 60 frames per second with, like, the video quality on, like, best, and with the preview turned, like, the preview window in the record software turned on, and all this other stuff. But I don't know. So hopefully this video works out. Let's get into what this game is, because I'm not even sure if any of you will know what I'm playing. This game is called The Crew. It launched, I believe, last November. It was either November or December, I want to say, of 2014. And basically, it's a street racing game by Ubisoft, the same people that make Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, the old Prince of Persia games for like the PS2, the Rayman games, if anybody plays those. Another big one, I don't remember what it is. I want to say Rainbow Six, but that is not right. I know that's not right. But, yeah, so they make Assassin's Creed, Rayman, games like that. So this is their first attempt, I believe, at like a legitimate racing game, or at any racing game, maybe. Basically, the concept with the Crew is it's supposed to be like online, like based, and you're supposed to have like friends in a crew, and you're supposed to pretty much just like try to level up and try to like take control of the United States, and the entire like the map of the game is like the entire United States, and some of it is like geographically weird, like looking. Like some states are a lot further south than they should be, or well, not states, but like cities. Some cities are a lot further south than they should be. Some cities aren't even like in the like generally right location. And for some reason, Texas is like completely absent from the map. I can't show it to you guys right now, I don't think. No, I can't. Not in the middle of the race, but Texas is like completely absent. There is no Texas. Like there's a city called Dallas, but it's, if I remember correctly, I haven't played this game in a long time, but if I remember correctly, it's like Dallas is not even where Texas would be geographically on the United States map. Dallas is like a few like states east, because the game doesn't separate anything by states. There's like 6 or 7 major cities that are named by like the actual city name, and then there's just like everything else is just like very vaguely named. Like right now we're in the South Palm Coast. Oh, now we're in Pine Island. I'm sure if you know your like United States geography really well, you could probably tell what state you're in by like what its name is in the game or something like that, but I'm not amazing with US geography, so. But the cool thing about this game, it's not really meant to be too like realistic. It's not a simulator. It's just more of an arcade racer. And the thing that I like about it is with car customization, they kind of take it to a new level almost. And you can get like different body kits like equipped to your car. And they don't just make it look different, they actually make it perform different. Like there's different, they're called specs in the game. And they pretty much make your vehicle perform different under different circumstances. And they make it really seamless by, well, first of all, you have a mobile garage. So all you have to do is open the start menu, open the mobile garage, and then just pick what car you want to drive. So you can easily switch between cars, which is good. And they also make it so that, for instance, like, when you buy a car, you buy it just like full stock. It's what it's called. So that means it just has nothing on it. It's just a bare, like, normal car. And you can drive it like that if you want to, but if you want to compete in certain events, you have to have like a certain spec installed on it. I don't believe that there's any events you can compete in full stock. So full stock you can really only use to drive around if you want to. Then there's a street spec, which is just kind of like it's fitted to be able to go faster, has better brakes, just like general things that you would use for like street racing, better handling, just like an overall just like upgrade. And then there's dirt, which gives your car like kind of like monster truck tires, and it allows it to perform better on dirt. It has a higher suspension, better handling on dirt, stuff like that. There is also perf spec is what it's abbreviated as, which is performance, and that's the kind of car I'm driving right now. It's pretty much street, but just like a general up street spec. Your car can go faster, can turn better, brake better. It's pretty much just like the street spec on steroids. Then there's raid spec, which is just the dirt spec on steroids, and it's kind of hard to explain since I can't really show it to you guys since I'm in the middle of a race. But dirt spec cars don't really work in just like any terrain. They really only work on like certain dirt paths that as long as you have played the game before, you'll know which paths they are. But the raid spec is pretty much the dirt spec on steroids, because it can go literally anywhere. That thing is all terrain. It's pretty insane. It's insanely insane, if that's even remotely like English. But then the last spec you will unlock is circuit spec, and those things have really terrible handling in my opinion. Like in terms of turning, they have really good braking and really good acceleration and top speeds, but they are absolutely terrible for turning in my opinion. But I don't know, like I think it's cool because you can take a full stock vehicle and then go to the street like modifier to modify it for a street vehicle. And your full stock car doesn't just turn into that street car. You get a separate car that is street spec for that vehicle. So for instance, the car that I picked to start out with, you can pick from, I think it's like a 2008 Mustang GT, a 2015 Mustang GT Fastback, a 2011 Dodge Challenger SRT, I want to say 2011 Nissan 370Z, and a 2008 Chevy Camaro Super Sport. And the car that I chose to start out with was the Challenger. And, well, I regretted that decision because I should have picked the 370Z. But I digress. I own the 370Z in this game now anyway. But the Challenger, basically, like I said, you buy it full stock, and then you go to the street spec dealer, or not dealer, it's not drugs, but you go to the street spec mechanic, and he will get your car ready to compete in street spec events, and that becomes a separate car from your full stock car. So you could still switch to your full stock car in the mobile garage. You can switch between your street version of your car, your dirt, your performance, your circuit, your raid, your whatever, and it's pretty cool. And the only thing that sucks is not every car can be fitted for like every event, so you can't, like, I don't know if this is true, but let's just say, for example, you can't go and buy like a 2013 like Corvette Stingray and hope to get it fit for dirt spec. And you can't go and buy like a 2008 Jeep Grand Cherokee and get it fitted for circuit spec. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting in that regards. There's a few cool cars here and there, like, I'm trying to think. Like, the way that the car shop works is there's, like, 3 or 4, like, cars that are always at, a car, like, one of the car shops. And then maybe, like, the other 4 will just, like, randomly switch between, like, a random list of cars that are available in that area. So, like, for instance, maybe in the New York garage, let's say there's like a 2002 like Mitsubishi Eclipse, and then there's like a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a LaFerrari, and like a Lamborghini Murcielago. And then like maybe those cars will always stay there. So every time you come back to the New York garage, they'll always have those 4 cars. But then on the other side of the garage, there's 4 cars that are like always like switching every time you come back. Or not every time you come back, but every so often they'll switch. So maybe one time the cars on the right will be all trashy, just like Impalas or something stupid like that, and then maybe the next time we come back they could be like 1999 like Nissan Skylines and 96 Supras and all that crazy stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I haven't played this game in a long time, and one of the things that you can do after beating the campaign to get some extra money is you can go on these like long, really long races. And this one, so far, I've been going for 16 minutes, and there's still 9 checkpoints left. And if you think that's crazy, a 16-minute race, then you haven't seen anything. There's races in this game that are up to and above 4 hours. Because there's ones where they want you to go from coast to coast in, like, a street spec vehicle, which is absolutely insane. Because even though this is the whole United States, obviously it's not scaled entirely like up to scale, but it's scaled pretty nicely. So driving from coast to coast would take you about probably 4 hours. I know in between story missions, when you're just going from like maybe Detroit to New York, is like almost 20 to 30 minutes of like constant driving just to get from like Detroit to New York. And I mean, you're like, oh yeah, well in real life that's like 15 hours of driving. But for a video game, this is pretty insane. I mean, I'm not saying it's any like technical feat, but it's pretty cool. I don't know, like, while we're on the topic of racing games, with, like, the cameras for, like, how you drive, do you guys prefer to use, like, the outside camera like this, like the third-person view, or if the game allows it, do you guys like to drive from inside the car? Because, I don't know why, but, like, for the longest time, like, I'm a big like racing game guy, so I always play a lot of racing games. Or well, I don't always get to play all of them, but I like to play them. I love racing games. I'm a big car guy. But with, like, do you guys like to race in the first-person view like this, or outside the car? Because I personally, like, for the longest time, I always hated racing inside the car. I was just like, oh, this is stupid, this looks stupid, this feels stupid. Like, it's blocking, like, half my vision, like, what's the point? But now I feel like more of your vision, almost like, not more of your vision, but more of your important vision is blocked driving like this. At least depending on what game it is. Like, maybe not in this game so bad, but some other games where the vehicle camera height's like pretty low and it's like closer down to the bumper when you're outside of the car using like the third person camera. Some of the some games will have it like really low, and then you can't see like over the car to see cars in front of you. So I feel like playing in the in this first person kind of avoids that. Like, you can see things in front of you a lot better. I feel like third person is better for like seeing your like back and like side surroundings a lot better. But I feel like it kind of can hinder your view from the front if you're like for the Dodge Viper, it doesn't really matter because that's like a low, like, kind of aerodynamic car. But if you're using like a more like beefy car, like maybe a Challenger or a Mustang, I feel like your vision is blocked too much. And while you don't have as much like side-to-side peripheral vision, or peripheral vision, however you want to pronounce it, I really feel like driving in the cockpit is my my preferred way of driving in racing games. As long as it's like, as long as it works. Like, there are some racing games that literally I feel like they just try to make it impossible to race inside the car. Because I always see racing games where like the windshield is like literally just like a tiny like slit, almost. And it just makes me so angry because I love driving in the cockpit. We're almost done with this race, guys. Hopefully this video works out. Oh, just hit a Camaro. Also, if you guys are like interested in cars and whatnot, let me know what your like favorite car is down in the comments below, or like what your dream car is. My dream car is honestly a 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR, but I don't know if many people know this, but I'm sure a lot of car fanatics will know. But basically, that car, well, not necessarily just the 1999, but the Skyline GTR like line of vehicles have been banned in the United States for some time now. Like, I think 10, 12, 13 years, something like that, maybe longer. But oh no, I just hit a 370Z, I think. But basically, piss. I'm not gonna go into excuse me. I'm not gonna go into detail about why they were banned, but basically they were, and you can now only drive, like, legally in the United States. You can only drive, sell, or buy a model of Skyline GTRs that are 25 years old. So by that math, the one that I want, the 99, I will have to wait until the year 2024 to be able to drive it, which sucks. But I do like the new Nissan GTRs as well. Those are pretty damn sexy as well. I don't know which one I would choose, like, if I was given the choice to pick an old one or a new one. I don't know which one I would choose, honestly. It's too hard. I feel like having an old one is like having a piece of, like, racing history, kind of, because they're, like, infamous for racing in Japan. No, I just lost the race at the last second. Damn it. Whatever. I'm not going to retry. I refuse to retry. I was too focused on talking about GTRs to focus on winning the race. I bet if I was in a GTR, which there is a Skyline in this game, a Skyline GTR in one of the garages, but I never have enough money to buy it when it shows up. Mainly because it's really hard to get money outside of missions, because like I said, you have to do these really long, like 30, 30, 40, 50, 60, like 4-hour races. And just gets tedious. I'm not going to sit down for 4 hours and waste 4 hours of my life just sitting doing one race. I don't have the patience. I don't have the kind of patience for that. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't really have the patience for that at all. But hopefully this video didn't crap out. I'm recording this live with no preview window, so I don't know if this crapped out or not. But guys, if it did, the audio probably would cut out too, so I don't even know if you would hear me anymore. But if it didn't decide to cut out, thank you guys so much for watching. And if it didn't cut out, look at it this way, and if you watched all the way through, you will now know that we are back on our normal upload schedule, assuming that this video doesn't crap out right now. And, well, I don't have to worry about you guys hearing this, whether it craps out or not, because if it craps out, there's not going to be any audio left. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, if, like I said, if this works, we will be back on our normal upload schedule tomorrow. And, now that I think about it, I'm going to mention it right now. I'm actually not going to be able to finish the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 Let's Play because I have to give that game back to my friend because he was letting me borrow it for a week while he had to go and do some business out of state. And he let me borrow it while he was gone, and he's back now, and he wants his game. And to be honest, no offense to the people that like the game and are enjoying Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, but I've gotten very annoyed with the with some of the frame rate issues I was encountering. I'm not even sure if everybody was encountering them, but I know I was, and I was pretty unable to perform at my best, which isn't very good because I suck at Tony Hawk games, even though I like to play them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more random The Crew races, because I don't know, we might do more. But thank you guys so much for watching, and have a phenomenal, what even is today? Have a phenomenal Wednesday, guys, and I will see you guys later.